All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and for the next 2 hours, I'm your host and your guide as together we will cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And the X Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until midnight, right here on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streamed around the world on classic1220.ca. My first guest tonight, X Zone Nation, are Dr. Nick and Mike SEBASTIAN, and we're going to be talking about divine guidance and dream signs intuition. Joining me now from the city of Detroit is Dr. Nick and Mike. Hey guys, welcome back.
Hey Rob, how are you doing?
How you doing? Thanks for having us.
Hey, I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming on. For the listeners who may not have heard you before on the show, can you tell us a bit about yourselves and what exactly divine guidance is?
Absolutely. Divine guidance is the highest form of guidance. You know, for the atheists, the agnostics, the believers, it doesn't matter. We're not going to get caught, bogged down with semantics. But ultimately, it's the highest form, the purest, the divine, whether it's from your higher self, the universe, or God. Go ahead, please.
And everybody wants guidance, Rob. So, what we do is we teach people not what to do, but rather how to know what to do. And everybody wants to know, like, should I take that new job? Should I move to New York? Should I invest in this new stock? Mm-hmm. How do I really know? Do I call the professionals? That's what we teach. And the knowingness is something that we all have within us already. We don't have to go outside. We don't have to give our power away to someone else to find the answer or the truth. And that's what we teach. We teach tools that allow people to get the answer from within themselves.
So where did you guys learn about all these tools, and how did you learn to do what you do?
Actually, self-preservation, to be honest with you. Yeah, mine started actually, Michael and I, we have a cool story that we're going to share with your listeners in a minute. But actually, my whole thing came from, I had a dream, and let me give you the short version.
Sure.
I was on the mountain with God, and a lot of information was transmitted. Mm-hmm. When I woke up, I didn't know what end was up. I grew up Catholic, so, not a holy roller, but, just had certain beliefs, no big deal. And anyhow, all this info was transmitted. Like I said, I didn't know what end was up. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what was real, what wasn't real. But I knew one thing, and I knew not to speak to anybody about this dream. Say nothing, Nicole. You got to figure this out yourself, because everyone has a bias, a motive, an axe to grind, their own perspective. So I knew to talk to no one. But I was so I was uncertain about this information. And it was everything, heaven, hell, past lives, this, that, the truth of everything. Let's just put it that way. That I needed a sign for stability. I asked for a sign from the universe every waking hour for an entire year. That is how long it took me to get stable, to get balanced. Every waking hour for an entire year, show me a sign. And I didn't care what the sign was. I didn't specify. Show me a sign. And within 5 minutes, I was given either a rainbow would appear, I'd overhear a conversation. Something would occur when I asked within 5 minutes to show me, Nicole, you're fine. Nicole, it was pure truth. Nicole, everything's cool. Just chill. But I needed that for an entire year to get really balanced. Therefore, 7 billion, now there's 8 billion people on the planet, could say, well, this is not correct. And I have such full knowingness that it wouldn't matter. And so that was the journey. And then simultaneously, Michael and I meet. Michael?
Yeah, and mine was, it's kind of like MLK. I have a dream. And mine began with a dream. And I always knew dreams were important. Way back when I started, I've taught at college for years and years and years in different states as a professor of sociology. Anyway, one night I have a dream, and it's a very clear dream, one of those super clear dreams. And luckily, I journaled the whole dream. And in the dream, I was teaching a class, and a girl walks in and sits in the front row, and her name is Nicole. And she looks just like Nicole looks right now, just like my current wife. But I didn't know her at the time, complete stranger, of course. It was just a dream. So when I woke up, I journaled the dream in all the detail, what the girl looked like, the color of her eyes, the dress she was wearing, and what went on in the dream. Well, flash forward 3 years. 3 years passed, and I'm still teaching at this college in Texas, and who walks into my classroom but the dream girl, Nicole. And just to summarize it was a big turning point for me, because within 90 days after the class, within 90 days we were engaged, and 9 months we were married, and have been together for 28 years now. And it was a turning point because it let me know how important it is to pay attention to my dreams. If I want a prophecy, if I want a snapshot of what's coming in my life, I watch my dreams. And that's what we share with other people now, how to journal your dreams and how to interpret them. And if you want to see what's coming and sidestep adversity, take a look at your dreams.
Nicole, why do you think God chose you?
Well, now I feel it's a mission, and that's why I went through what I went through, to have such conviction. And it kept rolling. Then Michael meets me with the dream, and then we have a sign. He's walking me back to my car, and the initials of my license plate are the initials of his wife, his first wife. And it just, the dream, signs, and intuition kept rolling. And then within 1 year, we looked at each other and we said, this is it. This is the message. We have to get out to the people to uplift humanity. And let's call it trust yourself. Trust yourself. And this is how the whole thing unfolded.
So why did you establish this modern-day mystery school, the Divine Guidance Institute?
Well, it needed a framework. And for the first 15 years, we didn't even have DGI. We wrote our books, and we would do seminars and shows and whatnot. We didn't even have the name. And then, actually, it's been 13 years now. The name downloaded, and what it was to be. We didn't even know what the heck we should call this thing. And then that downloaded Divine Guidance Institute, and that was 13 years ago. And we're like, well, okay then. And of course, you always do your homework. You don't bet the farm on a dream, okay? And that's why, there's a whole process to it, and there's confirmation. Henceforth, it took me a whole year on that one deal, like I said. But, there is a process. It's not just radical and changing your life based on something. But the cool thing is the methodology, and it's a trilogy. You use a confirmation with the dream and the sign and your intuition to go into full knowingness, and that's the difference.
And everybody wants to know, Rob. I mean, we get that question every day. Everybody goes, well, how do I know? I mean, how do I know that he's the one or she's the one? How do I know that I should make this move? It's life-changing. And then we share our tools with them, and it's a form of knowingness that we all have access to, but most people don't even realize that it's there. Just look in the mirror. It's you, and that's the tools we give them.
Exactly. Like, I'm very self-secure. I'm not an insecure person. When I see something, I know it's right, I do it. I don't need external help to make a decision. I met my wife, I fell in love, we got married. We've got 6 kids, 15 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren. So why is it that some people are so insecure that they have to look outside for help?
They're learning, and it depends where we are on the scale of consciousness, and that's it. In other words, have we had enough experience to become aware of who we are, what we're doing, what our mission is, and where we're going? And it takes a bit, and we need to go down those roads. And many people are what you would call young souls or young people, in the sense that they don't have the experience yet. So that's why we, put together Divine Guidance Institute, so they had at least some tools that they could work with themselves without having to go to other people constantly and try to get the answer from someone else, because we already have, like you just mentioned, you know who you are and where you're headed and what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Most people really do not.
It's funny because thanks to my parents, I was taught to think on my feet, be self-sufficient, be who I am. And it seems that in today's society, people are weak.
Oh, yes. We call it the wimpy time.
Yeah. Like, if you can't.
What's interesting, years ago I did a quick study in sociology, and I talked to a few leading CEOs in the United States, and I just asked them, one of the questions was, how do you make the final decision? You got $1 billion corporation here you're running. How do you make your final decision? Every single one of them, Rob, said, I know what the right answer is. It's called gut feeling.
Yeah, that's right.
And I said, really? I said, you bet everything on gut feeling? They said, well, I do my homework. I do my research. I have 50 advisors. But when the chips are down, I go with my gut. Every single one of them. So there you go.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. We've got to take our first break, so please stand by. Exonation, our guest this hour is Dr. Nick and Mike Sebastian. And we're talking about divine guidance, dream signs, intuition, and they are the people in charge of an organization that will help you if you're unsure of yourself and if you need help, guidance, and need a direction, I guess. These are the people to go and see. Their website is, do you have your pencil and paper out, everybody? DreamGuidanceInstitute.org. We'll be back on the other side of this break as the X Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, right here on your hometown radio, Classic 1220. Welcome back, everyone. This is the X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell, coming to you from our station and studios and center in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And you're listening to us on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streamed around the world on classic1220.ca. Dr. Nick and Mike Sebastian are our special guests this hour. And you say that people are getting blindsided. What do you mean by that?
Oh my gosh. I'm So glad you mentioned this. That's all that's in the headlines. If you check the headlines, once a week, if not more, I was blindsided. I was blindsided. She was blindsided. He blindsided me. And it doesn't matter if it's business, love, relationship, Hollywood, the stock market, the government. Blindsided is that key word, and that's the whole thing. When you do use the system, dream, signs, intuition, you will never get blindsided again because you will be forewarned. It's just like your own personal GPS is what we call it. And there's nothing like it, and there's nothing better.
How does it work?
And it's really how to stay in the moment too, Rob, and that's why people get blindsided. They're not paying attention. And people go, "Well, I am paying attention." And my question is, are you in the moment? Well, I was thinking about what's coming up tomorrow and what I need to do tomorrow, and I'm kind of anxious about that. Or I was thinking about yesterday in the past. That is not being in the moment. Consequently, all the stuff going on in the moment will blindside us, and that's what we begin to teach people.
Is it because we're getting all this data 7/24, 365 on our cell phones, on our computers, on our tablets, that we're just suffering from information overload?
Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
I call it one word: distraction. And there's way too much media distraction constantly, and just look out in the street. People are walking down the street. Almost every single person is talking into a phone. They're really not aware of what's going on around them, what's happening, and it's a lot of distraction. Then you add to that all of the TV and the movies, and all of the the computers and the laptops, and we're not present. And that's the problem. We can't be aware if we're not present.
But how can you blame the media when it's the person's personal choice what they what they listen to, what they watch, what they read?
Exactly. And actually, you both of you're on point. But I was going to say I really don't even think that that's what this is about. I think this is about that people are unaware that this source of information is real. It's authentic. It's 100% foolproof. That's what I really think is going on. People, they're not present, and everyone's, on their phones and everything else, but we can go way back. I mean, this is how, in the ancient times, that the pharaohs and the kings and the generals, they used to use these tools to guide their lives, and before going into battle. And back then, everyone had their personal own, prophetic dreamer or orator, reading the signs, omenologist. This was huge back then, and nowadays no one even knows about it. So we're, in addition to being so overloaded with all this information and data, no, we got to go back it up here. We got to say hello. Wait, first we got to say that a dream is real, and the information in it is, if decoded correctly, is life-changing and guiding. And then we've got to say that synchronicity you noticed has a message for you, and we have to say your gut is telling you something. Even the atheist, Rob, even the atheist dreams every night and has witnessed a coincidence and has had a gut feeling.
Well, I don't think there's anything to do with whether you're an atheist or whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Catholic, whether you're a Jew. We all dream. That's a scientific fact.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, what's interesting is because I've talked to so many people. I've been doing, clinical psychologist for several, for a while now, working with people. And most people, they'll say, no, I don't dream. I don't. And I say, no, you don't remember. A lot of people actually think they don't dream. This is astounding. Yes, Rob. Yeah, they think they don't dream. And I'm like, no, you just don't remember. And then we have a great technique, and we'll share it with your listeners whenever you think the time is appropriate, to remember dreams and stop nightmares and all this kind of cool stuff.
Yeah, we call it one magic word. We ran into a guy on one show, and he called in and he said, I swear to you, I have not dreamed in 40 years. I have not had a dream in 40 years. And he said, so what do you got? And so we shared with him the technique. We call it one magic word. And he contacted us the next day. He said, oh, my God, I remembered 3 dreams I had last night. So there's a way to unlock those doors and bring in really what it is our own personal power. You know, and when we're looking outward all the time with all the distraction and the phones, and we're looking to someone else to give us what we need to move forward. And the truth is we already have it within ourselves. We need to shut some of that down so in the silence we can figure out who we are, what we need to do, and where we need to go.
Is the silence meditation?
Yes. Meditation is if we shut the noise down, and you know, one thing we do teach is before we actually begin to meditate or vibrate, we call it vibrational therapy. We teach people to breathe a few times. If you notice, when you take a deep breath, take another deep breath, you start feeling balanced and centered. It's automatic because breathing shuts the mind, literally shuts the mind down. The number of thoughts get cut in half and then cut in half again. So we begin to hear the silence, and in the silence we find what we're looking for, the truth.
Now,
nice. That was nice, yeah.
So what's that one word? What is that one word that makes people remember dreams who say they don't dream?
Hue, H-U, hue. And it actually, there's quite a history with this word. The word hue comes from the word human. The word human is in the Oxford English Dictionary. For hue is an ancient, sacred, universal name for God. And going back to the word human, God within man. Again, it's in the dictionary. And in doing our research, we found this word hue in 14 different religious texts and the sacred books. Even the Masons, their secret word is hue. So it's been so interesting. Egypt, 5,000 years ago, they used to hew at the Sphinx from dusk until dawn as a society. So the word hue has quite an origin and quite a background there.
Even the Sphinx itself was, by the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, they called it hue, not the Sphinx. So the Greeks came in and took over, didn't know what it was, changed the name to Sphinx, which means unknown, but it was known as hue. And it's got a history even if you open the Bible in John 1:1, it says, you know, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with us. And that word is H-U, hue. It created everything. So it's very powerful, but it's also scientific.
You know, I've read the Bible many times, and I've never seen the word hue, and I never heard the interpretation that you just gave.
That's because you'll if you go to John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was right. God, but it doesn't actually
say what the word was.
With by saying the word is hue.
So
that's something we had to find in our research and going back and back.
It's in the Sanskrit version, actually. Yeah.
So why are dreams so important?
Well, they're direct. It's like picking up the phone every night, and you're on the phone with God. And if it's the atheist out there, we'll just say your higher self.
Why don't we just call it people? I don't like to give people labels with atheist, Christian. I think that society has gone past that. So let's just call them people.
Okay, but I'm using the word God, and some people aren't cool with that word. So that's why I'm saying higher self.
Okay.
When it's like you're on the phone, you pick up the phone, and you're on the phone with God or your higher self every night, having a conversation of pure truth, showing you where you are and what decisions or choices you need to make and what path you need to follow for the best outcome.
And dreams are really important because they show us literally what we're looking for. I mean, Einstein, for example, he used to, light doesn't go in a straight line, it actually bends. That was Einstein that theorized that, and someone else came up with the math. Einstein himself was really not that good in math. People always laugh and go, yeah, right, no, that's the truth. But he would fall asleep while reading or contemplating on something for maybe 5 minutes, and he saw a beam of light go from the earth to the moon, and as it got close to the moon, it bent. When he woke up, he went, wow, does light actually bend? And he came up with his theory. That was from a dream. And the guy who invented the sewing machine, Same thing. He got it in a dream. Most of us get what we need, the answers, direction, divine guidance from a dream.
Hey, Rob, that's where the maxim is, well, let me sleep on it. Yes, because that's what happens, hey.
It's either that or it's used as an excuse because you don't want to talk to the person anymore about it. And you say, just let me sleep about it.
Well, that works too. I like that.
Yeah. So when we're, is it possible that when we go to sleep and we have a problem, that we've been trying to solve the problem all day, and what our mind does, in my opinion, the mind is a supercomputer. It takes all the information that we've seen and heard, puts it together, and comes out with a formula that will actually make sense, and the problem is solved.
Absolutely. They're one and the same, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's yes and no, Rob. It's the mind works on it and assembles the data, like you just mentioned,
right,
with a lot of different options out here. When we go to sleep, we shut down this waking reality. We're not looking out through our eyes, ears, and all that. Everything's shut down, so the mind shifts into a different gear. And I would call it a quantum physics gear, and it goes into a place that we can't go because when we're awake, we're looking at something, so we're anchored here. Whatever we focus on is where we're anchored.
Mike, stand by. I've got to take a break. Exxon Nation. The website is divineguidanceinstitute.org. Dr. Nick and Mike Sebastian will be with us on the other side of this break. Don't go away. Welcome back, everyone. Dr. Nick and Mike Sebastian are our special guests this hour. Their website, divineguidanceinstitute.org. All right, we were talking about dreams, and I agree with you that I love dreams because I can have a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream, and I know it. So, what about, I think it's called lucid dreaming, I'm not sure. Anyway, what about the nightmares? What do they tell us?
Important message.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Imperative message. And the minute you just
put your... Yeah, indeed. And, it's something that's so important that we need to get the message. And it's kind of like someone throwing cold water in our face. Mm-hmm. That's a nightmare. And we remember it. We wake up and we wake up in a cold sweat and we go, "Oh my God, what a nightmare!" That's because we've missed something that's very important to us in our daily life, and we need to pay attention to it to go in that direction or get the answer. Consequently, it turns into a nightmare because we have had it before, the answer in the dream, and we didn't get it, and it keeps coming. So finally, the dream state sends it as a nightmare, and that does get our attention.
I've talked to many dream and people who deal with dreams over the years here on the show, and you always have the same dreams from most of the people who call in. Number one, they have the dream that they're falling. Number two, they have the dream that they're standing in front of an audience, naked. And then you have the men who have the dream that they're standing in front of an audience naked and their manhood falls off. What do all these dreams mean?
Michael?
No. Go ahead. I don't want that naked thing. Go right ahead.
Oh, come on, Michael.
Feeling exposed. It's often feeling exposed.
Mm-hmm.
The naked thing, feeling exposed. And you know what? On the second half, with what you just mentioned, your manly parts falling off, not yours, but in a dream. That would be literally feeling not masculine enough, not self-confident.
And it might be getting rid of the ego. That's what falls away. So the manhood falls away. Well, what is manhood, really? I'm a macho guy.
Oh,
Trust me.
right,
and the
right.
the ego goes into check. It literally falls away. So the dream's showing you something positive.
Well, this is so perfect, Rob. This is so perfect right now that you mention this. This is why it depends on the dreamer, and it depends on the dreamer's situation. Because right here we've got one symbol, and I just presented one aspect, not masculine enough, and Michael represented or mentioned the ego falling away. Both are valid interpretations of that dream, and it depends on the dreamer as to what the interpretation means, depending on their lifestyle.
But how does the dreamer know what that interpretation should mean if he is unaware of what his lifestyle is? And there's many people like that in the world.
Well, let's assume that they know that dreams are important and there's a message, okay?
Okay.
I really do. In working with all these people for years, people tend to know when they are egocentric, when they're narcissistic, when they're of the me, as opposed to giving and loving and being of service and helping others. People really do know, even if they're never going to admit it. They really do know. They know at the core of the type of person that they are. So, if you mention this or that, they would know instantly, what applies to them.
So something I read in the information that you were kind enough to send to our producers was online dating. Where do dreams come in with online dating?
Oh,
I mean,
my
except
God.
looking for the girl of your dreams or the guy of your dreams.
Well, here's the thing. How do we know that profile is legit? How do we know that's who they say they are in the photo, let alone the description? It's about the knowingness. And it's about not getting burned and not getting blindsided. And this is where it's so imperative because, again, this blindsided is in the media weekly, if not more often. And you hear it. Oh, my God, and I was burned by this. And then they called. And even, they said they kidnapped this one or I was going to meet this guy. And then I found out later, I saw him on the news. And this, these are real stories that you hear. And when you pay attention to the dreams and the signs and the intuition for guidance, you're way ahead. You're way ahead.
But,
and you'll know, like, I should bother with this person. I should not return their email, on the dating thing we're talking about.
And we would have dreams that night after meeting with an agent who wanted to represent us. And, the guy looked good, walked good, talked good, had represented Michael Jackson, for God's sake. And you think, whoa, this is the dude. And then we'd have a dream showing us what the real situation was.
Oh, yes. And he was a cocaine addict. And the dream said, stay away, stay away. This is a true story. We don't ever share stories that aren't. We don't ever make this stuff up. So anyway, yes, cocaine addict, stay away. And the next morning I called and I said, I think we'll pass for now, but thank you very much. And that was it. So you've got all this inside information, and you don't use it for power. You don't use it for abuse. No. You keep things to yourself, but you use it for your own wisdom. Your own wisdom.
all right, when talking about the dating scene, guys and gals, they get the love juices flowing.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, are you really getting the true story in the dream? Because the girl may think that this is Mr. Right, and all her dreams are of getting married, having a family, and the guy could be a schmuck. And the same goes the other side.
That's the beauty of the dream. Rob, that's where you get the truth. I can share two quick stories with you.
Sure.
Right here, right now.
Okay.
Do we have to go? Is it a break?
No. I was saying let's go.
Okay, cool. So this is a recent deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Client, dream, new girl, and all this, and okay. And he's taken out her trash in the dream, and she says, wait, I want some of that. Bring it back. There's the whole dream. Boom. And now this guy's been working with dreams, so he's pretty sharp. And so as we're talking, it was real clear. Here's the message. The message was she hasn't worked on as much of her own stuff as he has. She's not ready to let go of her baggage. This relationship is not on equal playing ground, and it will not work. And sure enough, that's how it unfolded. He gave it another minute because sometimes, you can make your decision then, or maybe you need to wait a minute. You're not just like, okay. And so, but that's how it played out. So the dream always gives you the whole deal up front. Let me give you another quickie.
Sure.
Another guy, and he was dating someone, and they lived in different states, and he was ready to move forward, like even thinking of moving to that state to live with her, or should we move somewhere else? And here's the dream, and it's a hotel room, and you know the adjoining door between the two rooms?
Yeah.
In hotels,
Sure.
So anyway, the door's there in the room. He walks through the door, and she's standing in the doorway, and she will not budge. She will not. She's standing there, and that's the whole dream. And so that message was pretty clear. He's ready to move forward. She is not ready to move forward, nor will she ever be. That's why she did not budge. So he actually stayed in the relationship another 6 months, and sure enough, no, they're not together, and it's been a minute now. So so those dreams give you the pure truth, because the mind it wants the happy endings, and those juices are flowing, like you said, the vibes and the chemicals,
Sure.
and oh boy.
So where does this information come from that we dream?
It's the ultimate truth. Where it comes from, it's like A Few Good Men. The truth. Can you handle the truth? Here's the what we've found. The easiest way to explain it is through quantum entanglement, and that is simple physics. And they proved a long time ago, 60, 70 years ago, that everything is connected. That's not physics speculation. That was John Bell proved it. Everything is connected. And the way I see it, at least the way Nick and I look at it, is like a hologram. We're all in a hologram. And when you're in a hologram, you really, if you take a little slice of something and put a laser light on it, you'll see the whole thing, no matter how small that slice is. Everything is connected. And in the dream state, because we stop focusing out here, we go inward. We actually go into the hologram, and we have access to all information. Everything in the known universes we have access to. We can contact, doesn't matter if it's on Alpha Centauri 2. We can access it. So that's really what's downloading from the inner state. And the same works with synchronicities and signs, except they occur while we're awake, but they're really coming from that inner state of the hologram.
Now, the dreams that people who are visually impaired, do their dreams work the same way?
Pretty much, yeah. We might be outwardly visually impaired, but we are not inwardly visually impaired. So
how would you what's the word I'm looking for? How would you interpret a dream from a blind person when they can't actually tell you what they saw in their dream because they have no point of reference?
I would go more so with feeling. How does it feel? Because, seeing something is one way to focus on it. Another thing is the feeling. And when we feel it, it's called knowingness. It's like, okay, it's love. For example, if you ask someone, okay, are you, and they go, oh my God, I'm so in love, yeah. Well, can you explain that to me? Well, they have a hard time verbalizing it because they're words. But the feeling, we all know what it feels like to be in love. Mm-hmm. And that's what I would probably zero in on with someone who's visually impaired, maybe completely, I would go with the images. What did you see? If you didn't see anything, how did it feel? What came in as a feeling? What was the vibe? What was the vibration that was occurring within you, and how do you interpret it? That usually opens the door.
All right, guys, stand by. We've got to take our final break. X-Zone Nation, our guest this hour is Dr. Nicole and Mike Sebastian. Their website is, are you ready for it again? Okay. Are you sure? You've got your pencils and paper ready? DivineGuidanceInstitute.org.
I'll tell you about the magic and the free your soul, but it's like trying to tell a stranger about a rock and roll. If you believe in magic, don't bother to choose if it's jug band music or rhythm and blues. Just go and listen. It'll start with a smile that won't wipe off your face, no matter how hard you try. Your feet start tapping and you can't seem to find.
And welcome back, everyone. Dr. Nicole and Mike Sebastian are our special guests this hour. Their website is www.DivineGuidanceInstitute.org. Hey, guys, what is all this stuff about coincidence? Is it really coincidence, or is it just, mind over matter kind of thing?
All right. And you nailed the word just. There's the coincidences, but here's what people typically say, and they say it's just a coincidence. And what we say is the key word is just. You got to get rid of that word just, because there is a message, and it's here's a foolproof way, real simple to know, is there a message or not? Okay. If you see a coincidence, that's two similar simultaneous events. That's what a coincidence is. If you see a coincidence, there is a message. Also, if you witness a totally bizarre event, there's a message for you. Case in point, a client, colleague, while ago, Arizona, she wakes up, the palm tree in the front yard is on the ground. It's laying down. It fell over. Boop. She's like, now that caught her attention. She's been working with this, so she's very aware. She's like, what do you think about that? And I said, well, some area of your life is about to be uprooted. And then within a month or so, her husband got a promotion, and they moved across the country. Just like this is true. Yep, true story, and that's how it happened. So, a coincidence, there's a message. So, two events, simultaneous and similar, or something so bizarre it catches your attention, and you're like, what the heck? There's a message.
Okay, I can buy part of that. But I'm thinking, all right, a tree fell. Yeah, the roots are showing. But why did it take a month for this action to take place?
Well, here's the thing. We're given this guidance ahead of time. So we're forewarned, we're led, we're eased into something, so we're not thrown off course.
And we're given a snapshot as to what's coming. And if you go back to what I had mentioned earlier, everything is connected in I call it the hologram. The question is, are we aware enough? Are we awake enough to notice it and see the connections? The palm tree means my life's going to be uprooted and things are going to move in a different direction. Or somebody's going to walk into my classroom that has the name Nicole, and it's an exact match to the dream. I was given 3 years head start on that one. It's like we're kind of slow as humans, and that's the truth. And that's because we're always looking outward, taking other people's words and informations for what we want within ourselves.
All right,
and that's the difference.
Would you say that tree falling was part of destiny?
I'd say it's yes. Destiny in the sense that if we look at the hologram, it's already written. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear that. But hey, it's can you handle the truth? The thing itself is very grand. It's already written, and we start to access it, and it's kind of destiny in that sense. If we're meant to meet someone or be something in this, maybe a rock star or something, that's going to occur. It's automatically, the doors will open, and we will step into that destiny, and there will be synchronicities, signs along the way showing us that that's going to occur.
All right. I have a problem because I've done this show 34 years, and I've heard a lot of things, whether it's in the paranormal, parapsychology, New Age, spiritual, you name it, I've heard it. And I find it kind of hard to give credence or validity to something like that tree. Because if that tree didn't fall, what would have happened then?
Well, here's another thing to get into, and we don't have a lot of time, but vibrations. All we are is a vibration at the core. You've got your central nervous system and your atoms and your subatomic particles, and all we are is one big vibration that we vibrate at a certain rate and frequency, and that really is what makes us all unique. Your quantum signature, we call it. So the quantum signature, we always say you are the sign. In other words, it's an interactive universe, and the universe is constantly reacting to each individual in real time. So if that event wasn't in their reality,
consciousness.
Thank
yes.
you. Nice, thanks. It would not have occurred. So in this interactive universe, we are actually creating the sign through our own vibrations.
So that tree falls because of my interaction on the same vibe scale. It's a vibrational dance. Okay. Really, all there is down here in life is a vibrational dance. Everybody has different quantum signatures, like Nick mentioned, a vibration. And everything that's within my vibrational sphere is called, I attract it to me. Like attracts like. It comes to me. It might be a tree, it might be a car, it might be a license plate that says something. That's a sign. That's
Gotcha.
Because it's on my vibrational scale. When we change the vibrations, we change the reality completely.
Ooh. Yes, and I have one really good point to make, and this is what's cool about the system. Trust Yourself system, we call it, Dream Signs Intuition. You can actually use the system to know if this stuff is real. You want to know set up a sign to know if signs are real. People do this all the time with our stuff because there are skeptics, and they don't know, and to come into full knowingness. So one person came to a seminar, and he said, on the way out, I want to see an upside-down balloon before I get home to know if I should believe in all this stuff. And sure enough, this is in Phoenix. Anyway, he's calling us. An hour later, he saw 16 upside-down balloons. Someone had a party. The balloons deflated, so they were all hanging upside down from this tree on his drive home. And simply put, let me tell you how that piece works. Soul, which is the essence of what we are, again, the vibrational field, has access to past, present, and future. No timeline. Past, present, future, all accessible. That's how we can dream of the future, et cetera, et cetera. So soul is really that part of you, your higher self, that's choosing the symbol ahead of time because it knows what you're going to run into on the way home type of thing. So again, as Michael said, this is how everything's really connected at a quantum level.
All right, so let me go back to that tree example. The tree falls on, let's say, Alice's front lawn, the roots. Her roots are going to be uplifted. Her husband moves because they get a better job, and they're uplifted and they move. What happened to the other people in that neighborhood who saw that tree with the roots up?
Well, here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Half the people aren't going to notice it, okay, because there is no message there for them. And the other part of the people, the other portion that do notice it, there we go with that. Something is so bizarre, and that's how you know it's a message for you. So it's not so much that it was on their lawn, but noticing these things out in the world, that's, again, within our vibrational sphere. That's why we notice such things. And within there's a message. And the message is different for everyone, like we gave that example before of the ego and the masculine or drop the ego type of thing. You know,
everybody's on their own journey, their own path, which is, you know, because people say, well, how can I access this? How can I know all this, what you're talking about? And that's why we have the one magic word, which is hue. That's a vibrational toning technique. And when we do it, hue, 2 letters, it literally changes our vibrational sphere and begins to actually retune me from the inside out, like retuning a guitar or retuning a piano. And the hue can do that. It can heal us, actually healing. So it's one way to go.
Okay, now
I thought of something so funny with the roots. Someone's message could be she needs to get her hair done.
That's true.
She needs to get her hair colored because her roots are showing.
That is...
No, Annie, don't mind me.
No, guys, hold on here. We've got about 2 minutes left. I want to ask you, so what you're trying to tell us here in the X-Zone Nation, that the future is set?
Oh, no. There's many futures.
Yeah, there's parallel universes and many things. When I say the hologram, I'm talking about see an infinity of universes that are possibilities. And what determines which one we see and which one we experience is what I focus on. You know the old saying, be careful what you ask for, be careful what you focus on. That pulls it to me. I attract it just like a giant magnet.
Ooh.
So go ahead, Nick.
Here's my favorite one-liner, Rob, to that point.
Okay.
Choice, not chance, determines your destiny.
There you go.
Okay.
But if you want that extra edge of data and information to know, to go into full knowingness, these are the 3 tools, or the 4 tools. The hue is a big one that'll get you there. Hue, dream, signs, intuition, and you take everything you've already got, and it's like putting it on nitrous. It's like Jedi Knight. It's like adding, like I said, nitrous to this or steroids to that. It amplifies everything.
Yep.
Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. Quickly, where do you guys give your courses?
Oh, virtually.
Okay.
Yes. So it's quite.
Anyone can contact us through the website, and we'll work with them.
One last thing, real quick, Rob.
Yeah, sure.
We wanted to do this on the equinox intentionally because quarterly, you got your winter and summer solstice, and your spring and autumn equinox, and the future is actually revealed to each human the next quarter around these times. 2 weeks prior and 2 weeks after, or the 2 weeks surrounding the solstices and the equinoxes, by reading the fabric, that's what we call it, reading the fabric, noticing the signs and the dreams, your next quarter is revealed to each person if they pay attention.
And that's today, the equinox.
Wow. Guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us. You take
Thanks,
care.
Rob.
And X-Zone Nation, if you'd like more information, visit their website at divineguidanceinstitute.org. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break, and we'll continue in hour number 2 of the X-Zone as we keep on checking into the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology. Let me see, X-Zone Nation. If you're a skeptic or a believer, send me an email, xzone@classic1220.ca. I'm Rob McConnell, and I'll see you on the other side. Don't go away.